Welcome back down to the underground lair. We have a made in Mexico road-worn Telecaster. It's a beauty. So there you go, nice butterscotch finish. It's got all the traits you would expect out of a road-worn Fender. From what year was that? 2013. Yeah, all the scarring and stuff that you'd expect. It has some sharp fret ends, and let's check our his problem is, he says, whenever he bends, and this has got that 7.5-inch radius, so when he bends it on the B and the G around the 12th to 15th, 17th fret, it frets out, which a lot of times that'll happen on a 7.5-inch radius. So if we check our string height at the 17th, I go by 64ths just because that's what the roller is. We're under 4/64ths, we're at 3/64ths, we're at 2/64ths, we're back up to 3/64ths, we are at 3/64ths, and we're under 4/64ths. And then the relief, Fender wants 10 at the 7th fret, holding at the body joint, or the 17th fret, and when you pull the feeler gauge out and it makes that kind of noise, it's too flat. And that there, boys and girls, is why you're going to have the fretting out issues. The saddles are kind of cattywampus here, but that's kind of what you have to do to achieve the radius, but it's not even achieving the radius. And I noticed that the string height at the 1st fret's a bit low as well. So let's make some adjustments. First thing we got to do is get rid of the pick guard, because you can't adjust your pickup height of your neck pickup with that on there. Plus, it's one of these that's more of the vintage spec that has the truss rod down in there where nobody can get at it. So, a little interesting tidbit, camera probably won't pick it up, but stamped right in here, road worn, right above the placement jig for the CNC. I thought I'd point that out while I was here. Okay, boys and girls, we've got it adjusted a bit, and I was able to get at the truss rod by dropping that neck pickup down quite nicely. Checking our truss rod, since he likes it a little bit flatter than normal, I got it probably about 9, maybe 8. So let's see what the 1st fret looks like now. Oh yeah, big difference. I was worried about that. That's the 18 thou fits under there nicely now. Okay, do we have any of the fretting out? These are still the old strings, by the way. No. So it looks like it's where it should be. So now I know that it can be all that it could be. We're going to go ahead and change the strings. Alright, so I forgot to turn the camera on. First thing we used was the big monster file that we use like this. It has the correct angle, and then you got to clean up the ends, the sharper ends that it makes, by using your little handy file. And that's what I've been doing. There's a safe edge down here. I thought I'd be able to get this done with just the Fret Guru, but these are pretty tall frets, so this is going to have to take the extra time to use this file. Pretty nice. These weren't nearly as bad. I'm going to go ahead and turn the guitar around, and you don't need to watch this. It's like watching grass grow. Alrighty, we took care of the sharp fret ends, and now it's time to string it up. I really like this guitar. There you go. That's all I got to say about that. Need to polish these frets up a little bit. They're a little grimy, so we use micro mesh and fret protectors. Just find the right one. That's the right one. So I start at good shape. We're going to start at 1800. So micro mesh. Feel what you're doing. It takes some of the gunk off. Makes your bends feel better. It's just a beautiful thing. I'm going to use this 1800, then I'll go to 2400, then I'll go to 3200, and then to 4000. So I'm going to continue this, and I'll get it strung up, and we'll be back. So as you can see, the frets are nice and polished. Got the sharp fret ends taken care of. Next thing we're going to do is clean up the fingerboard. I use simple green. It doesn't harm any of the guitar finishes that I know about. Use a toothbrush, let it get in there and just get all the finger gunk out of there. And wipe it off. You want it road worn, but not a dirt road worn. Take away all that dirt that's hiding where the fingerboard was covering up. There's an inordinate amount of crap right up against the fingerboard. Guitar spooge, I suppose. Yeah, this is clean up nice. I use this guitar grease stuff. It just really makes your tuning more stable. Oh, forgot to put it underneath the string tree as well. It's not pretty, but it makes your tuning more stable. Vintage style tuning. I'll typically go 4 posts past where the string's supposed to live, and I'll cut that off. I can't ever remember if I go 4 or 3, so I'll try the 4. Make sure your string's all the way in the furrow and down the hole. Oh, make it go the right way. You always wrap it underneath. Yeah, that'll work. So once again, it wants to live there. We go 4 and cut it. So you get the idea. Let me finish this up and we'll be back. Okay, we have our new strings on it, and we are sitting at string height of 4/64, a hair-worn 4/64, 4/64, 4/64. That could come up a little bit, and 4/64. Let's bring that up just a little bit. Anytime you're tightening a string, you want to take tension off the one that you're tightening. I hate flathead screwdrivers. Alright, let's see where we're at. There we are. Alright, so let's tune this real quick. Now we'll check our intonation. Still here sharp. That's on. That's on. So you don't have the compensated bridges, so I'm going with the first string, the well, the 6th string, the 4th string, and the 2nd string as my bass point. Just a little short. Still a little short. Okay, so the E is on, the A is a little flat. The D is on, the G is a little sharp. And be aware, I did stretch the strings in. If you see me do this once in a while, that's because they're still stretching a little bit. Bring that back just a hair because it's still a little sharp. If it's sharp, the saddle's got to go that way. If it's flat, it's going to go that way. Now that one's on. That'll probably through the E. A little flat, just like we had up here. Okay, so I am close to being intonated. That may change overnight with the new strings and the tension on the neck. Hey everybody, it's the next day after work, and let's just see, I retuned it. Let's just see if everything stayed where I put it. Let's see here, we want the 17th fret. Make sure I have the 10th thou feeler gauge. And the 10 just slides underneath there. It's a little tight, but he says he likes it a little tighter than Fender spec. I'd call that probably 8 or 9 thou. Okay. Pick up height. Let's see here. How did I guessed too big. You know, whenever these road worn series came out, I was very skeptical. You know, I was very much like, I'll just buy a regular one and drag it down the highway behind my car. And I'll tell you what, after all these years and after they've really appreciated in price, I mean, these were $650, maybe $600, I can't remember, it was a while ago. I kind of dig where they are. A little bit of noise in the pot, the volume pot there, but that's probably for not being used. I love how that butters up like that. It's a little out of tune now, but it all works. That's the important part. There's no noise in the jack, and that's about all we got to do here. Pickup height, it's all good. It plays the way Fender tells you it should play. So call Buddy and tell him get it out of here. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode of Stringman Guitars down here in the underground lair. We tackled this road-worn Telecaster. If you are in the greater Pittsburgh area and you need your axe sharpened, I'm on Facebook. Send me an instant message. We'll get you in line. You could also hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. Tell your friends, tell your mom and dad. We'll get your axe sharpened. Be good to your neighbor. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Take care of the old folks because they're precious. Be careful. Be patient with everybody. We're in this transition between people are still wearing masks, not wearing masks. No need to put somebody down for wearing one or not wearing one. Just be good to one another. Peace.